welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. I am super excited about today's video because as you can see from the title, today I'm going to be starting a new declutter series for 2022. Now, I have been wanting to declutter my collection for absolutely ages at this point because right now it's just a mess. I literally just find myself using the same products over and over again because I can't really find anything else. I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm forgetting what I have because there's just so much piled on top of each other. It's not organized. It's just not working out anymore. So I'm really excited to get everything organized and hopefully find some products that I haven't used in a while and just start using them again. So to kick us off today, we're gonna start by going through all of my eyeshadow palettes, and I think this is going to be quite a brutal one because there's just a lot in my collection that I'm not using, that I don't see myself using anytime soon, and I think it can probably go to a better home. And I also finally have a piece of furniture that is over in that corner over there that I've been saying I wanted to get since my last declutter last year, I think. So I'm really excited to get everything up on the shelf, have it all on display, and I really just want it to be products that I know I love, that I know I'm gonna get lots of use out of, and anything else is just gonna go today. Just a quick little disclaimer before we jump in, which I didn't put in last year's videos. I didn't think I'd need to, but I did get a couple of comments about this. I'm not gonna be giving this makeup away. I'm not gonna be, you know, organizing giveaways or just sending it to people or anything like that. It is all gonna go to friends or family, or if it's too old, it is just gonna get binned. So please don't leave any comments under the video asking me to send you the makeup because it's not something that I will be doing. So with that out of the way, let me just start by showing you what we're dealing with, how it's stored at the moment, because it is just not working anymore. Alright, so I apologize if the sound goes a bit weird just for this, just because my microphone is facing away from me. So these are my two sets of Alex 5 drawers. This is where I keep all of my makeup, and the palettes are in this one and this one. So the top one is all of my kind of neutral wearable palettes, I would say, and to be fair, this one isn't too full, but I'm already spotting some that I just know I'm not going to keep. The issue really is the second one, which is my colourful palette drawers, and there is yeah, there's a lot in here. Again, a few that I can already see that I'm pretty sure I'm not going to keep. I have just been having so many issues with it. I've had days where I can't close the drawers because a palette is getting stuck, other days where I can open one of the drawers, and I've even had some palettes fall behind the Alex drawers. I don't know how they've done it, so let's see what we're going to get rid of today. Alright guys, so I thought I'd start off with my more neutral / wearable palettes. So I've just grabbed a pile of palettes just from the top, and we're just literally going to go through them and see what we think. This is literally my first time filming top down. I can tell the lighting is quite uneven, so I have no idea how this is gonna go. Hopefully the sound's not weird or anything because I am quite a bit closer to the microphone than usually. So let's start off with the Colourpop and Sailor Moon collaboration. This is the Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon palette. It's cute, it's just really not what I expected, and I don't think I've used this once since my review. No, I literally only used it once since my review. It just really doesn't appeal to me. It really wasn't what I expected, and I don't feel like the quality is quite the same as the other Colourpop palettes that I have. I don't know what it is. I mean, it looks like you can't even see what I'm doing because I'm not in frame. I just don't feel like this is really amazing. This is gonna go. The W7 Nudification palette, I think I'm also gonna let this one go. It's not one of my favorite palettes by W7, and I do feel like it is quite similar to the recent Sweet Cocoa palette that they've done. And I do also see a lot of overlap with their latest palette. I think it's the Love palette, the Valentine's Day one, which I haven't reviewed yet, but I will be reviewing. Just not my favorite. I don't reach for it, so I think this can go to a better home. Oh, my Anastasia palettes are just so dirty at this point because I have had them for years. We've got the Prism palette first. I think I'm gonna keep this one. Again, I haven't used it in ages, but I feel like I do want to give this one another go because it is a really interesting color scheme. I do really like this shade here, Dimension. The shade Sphere, I mean, we've got better neon shades out there now, but I don't know. I feel like I want to have another play with this, so I'm going to keep this one. The Norvina palette, however, it is time to go. I have really tried with this palette. I was really excited about it. It was the only Anastasia palette that I bought like quite soon after the release. Not immediately, a couple of months later, but definitely the earliest that I've ever bought one before. And it just really didn't live up to the hype at all for me. I already showed this in my eyeshadow palette collection, but just look at these two shades. I mean, they're not identical, but I feel like on the eye, I can never tell the difference. I always end up doing the same kind of looks. Yeah, no, this is gonna go because the only reason I was keeping it is that I wanted to keep all my Anastasia palettes together, and it just doesn't do it for me. Okay, these two I am keeping. Absolutely no way I'm letting these go. They are some of my most expensive palettes, and the Viseart one was one of the first palettes that I got in PR. I did get asked if I thought that Viseart was worth the price, and I have to say that if I was gonna go out and spend my own money on a Viseart palette, if I was gonna spend that much, I would probably personally go for something a bit more colourful. I just feel like I would be getting my money's worth a lot more. This though definitely feels like professional grade palette, absolutely keeping it. And the Huda Beauty, I mean, it needs no introduction. It's gorgeous. You can see I've hit pan. I think next year, if it goes on sale for Black Friday again, which it normally does, I'm just gonna pick up a backup because I love this too much. The mattes don't get enough love from me. I've definitely mentioned this before, but I love, love, love the sparkles in this. So definitely keeping. Another Huda palette, we've got the Smoky Obsessions. I'm gonna keep this one. I have mentioned this before. I wanna try using it up. I feel like I really could make a serious dent. I just kind of forget about it. It's just what happens with every single one of my palettes. So hopefully having it out on my shelf should really help with that. So definitely keeping. The Revolution Forever Flawless Allure, I'm kind of hesitating. It is really, really pretty. I do think it is one of my favorite palettes from Revolution, but I haven't reached for it all that much lately. I feel like the mattes are my issue. They don't give me a lot of depth. Really, really like the shimmers, but I feel like I just want the mattes to be a little bit richer. I think I'm gonna keep it for now. I think I wanna give it another chance, and when it comes to my next declutter, if I don't feel that I've had enough use out of it, if I'm not happy with it, that's when I'm gonna get rid of it. Let's do my other two Anastasia palettes. I am not gonna get rid of my Modern Renaissance. I have hit pan on the shade Vermeer over here. It's such a pretty palette. I really hope this is all in focus, by the way. I do keep trying to check. But yeah, there's some shades that I've made a really, really good dent in. Primavera, the other shade here, Tempera, Love Letter as well. It's the palette that made me fall in love with makeup all over again, and I feel like I could also end up using this one up. So definitely keeping. And Subculture, I have hesitated at times. I felt like maybe I was gonna give it away, but I have had a lot of fun when I have pulled this one out again. I do really like the color scheme. Definitely not the easiest palette to use, but we are gonna keep. Then we have the W7 Queen Bee. This was my favorite palette for summer 2020. I was gonna say summer last year, but I realized we are now in 2022. This is a dupe for the Urban Decay Naked Honey. I just really like how overall this is a warm palette. It looks really gold, but then we have these kind of khaki greeny shades over here. Again, haven't used it in a while, but I really do want to pull this one out more this year, so absolutely keeping. I am also gonna keep all three of the W7 Little 9 Pan, the Sweet palettes. That's it. The words just wouldn't come out properly. Again, neutrals just aren't necessarily my favorite from W7, but I did have fun playing with these for the video, to be fair. My least favorite would have to be the Sweet Cocoa here, which let me show you it next to the nudification. I mean, they're definitely really similar, so I don't need both. I have pulled this one out a couple more times since. I think I could have a good play with this one as well, so they're gonna stay in my collection. And then we have another Huda palette. We have the Nude Light. Really, really cute. The shimmers in this palette are really, really gorgeous. That is absolutely stunning. I think the reason I never tend to gravitate towards this one is because the mattes are quite light. But again, I would really, really like to play with this one some more this year, so I'm gonna keep. I said this was gonna be a brutal declutter, and so far we've only decluttered 3 palettes. So that is going really, really well, clearly, guys. I have the Yves Rocher Christmas palette here. I'm gonna keep this because this was a gift from a family member, and I feel like I could get a couple of looks out of this. That is staying. Colourpop Boudoir Noir. I really love this palette. I've had a lot of fun with this one. I really like the khaki, I like the gold, I like the glitter, I like this body language shade here. Look at that. I like using it with the shade Nap. I do just think it's really different from what Colourpop tend to normally do, because they usually do a lot of warm tones, a lot of pinks, and I'm gonna keep using this one. Next up is the collaboration with The Mandalorian. This is the Child palette. I haven't used this one in ages, and I really feel like I need to use it again. I mean, look at this shade. I'm really bad at staying in frame. Look at that. That is absolutely gorgeous. Also, it's Star Wars, so it's definitely not gonna go anywhere. The W7 Show Off palette. I did really want the original palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I do really like the colors of the shimmers in here. Okay, that's gonna go in the maybe pile for now because I'm not sure. We'll come back to it, we'll see. The Racy palette, this is one that I did enjoy. It's got some really nice shades in here. This is the dupe for the Huda Naughty palette. I thought the metallics were some of the best that we have seen from W7. This pink over here, we have Tempting over here, we have Frisky, and we have Risque. Let me show you this. They are so nice. Absolutely gorgeous. They've got a really lovely wet look. So I will definitely be keeping this palette. The only thing I will say is that the shade down here that was meant to imitate what she had in the original palette, that dried up really fast. So quite pointless to have that in there. I understand that they were duping the palette, so that's why they've included it. Not worth it. But the palette overall, I did really like. Next up, we have the I Heart Revolution Unicorn Glow palette. This is quite cute. The color story is adorable. I just didn't realize when I bought it that this was going to be only metallic shades. I thought there would be mattes in there. So this one is going to go to someone else. And then the I Heart Revolution Cinnamon palette. I do really like this one. This is an all matte palette, and I think the pigmentation is absolutely gorgeous. Perfect palette for autumn. I am going to keep this because I do really like it. W7 Tokyo palette. I did think this one was quite cute. I like the idea behind it. I have just not reached for this one since my review. I do think for the price it's absolutely fine, and again I think it would be really nice for someone who is really new at makeup, more of a teenager who just wants a palette that's got a bit of everything. I just don't think I'm going to be reaching for this one. I think I have enough colour in my other palettes, so I'm going to let it go. The Pixie and Tina Young palette. I don't think this palette is all that. I don't think the quality is incredible. The metallics in here are pretty boring, but I think I am gonna keep it just for a bit because I do pick it up every now and then. I know, weird. I don't like it that much, but I do play with it. I just think it's quite nice when I want something really easy for work, something that's not gonna be too bold. So weirdly, I'm actually gonna keep this one for now. All right, yeah, so far definitely not as brutal as I thought this was gonna be. I'm definitely keeping a lot, but let's move on. We've gone through all the neutral palettes. This is now the colorful palette drawer, and we have the Urban Decay Moondust palette. I wanted this for the longest time, and I think I got my hands on it around the time it was being discontinued. I used it a lot when I started posting to Instagram, and then I kind of forgot about it, which is really sad because look at some of these shades. Oh. I think you used to be able to buy a lot of these shades as singles, and recently Urban Decay have redone all of them, so these particular shades aren't available. However, the palette has been available on Boots for only £20. I don't know where they've got the stock, I don't know why they've got it, but I have been really tempted to pick up another one. Yeah, if you missed out on it a few years ago, go to boots.com, grab it for £20, absolutely worth the money. I have this little MUA Bright Luster palette that I tried, oh god, was it last year or the year before now? I can't even remember. It's cute. It's not the best eyeshadow in the world, but it is extremely affordable. The two mattes aren't all that, but it is about the metallics. And I have reached for this palette since reviewing it when I've just wanted, well, particularly this metallic shade here. I mean, that is really nice, especially when you take the price into consideration. I literally forgot how to talk for a minute. So I'm gonna keep this one because it's a really cheap option and I have reached for it since reviewing it. Revolution Forever Flawless Enchanted. I love the way that this one looks. I really do. I just think it's something really different from everything else that Revolution tend to do. I have picked it up a few times since my original review. I do sometimes struggle to use it a little bit because I feel like there's actually a lot of different tones in the palette that I struggle to get to work together, which is a shame, but it is different. So I'm gonna keep this, I'm gonna give this another chance, and again I think next declutter, if I just really haven't been using this, I'm gonna let it go, but for now I am gonna keep the I Heart Revolution Good Luck Charm palette. I am going to let go. It is cute, and it did have some nice metallics in this one, to be fair. I did enjoy them, especially compared to some other ones by Revolution. I mean, look at that silver. This is really nice. Oh, this is making me want to keep it. It is, but I just know I'm not going to reach for it, so this is going to go. Then the W7 Whatever palette. This is the dupe for the Anastasia Riviera palette. I did like it because I really, really wanted the original Anastasia palette. And every now and then, if it goes on sale or I see someone said they found it in TK Maxx, I think I would still quite like to go out and buy it. But I've just not reached for this one in ages. Nothing wrong with the palette. I did enjoy playing with it. I just have other palettes from W7 that I prefer, so this one is gonna go. And then the Colourpop Blowing Smoke. I mean, this isn't gonna go anywhere, is it? I really, really like it. It's just really nice to have a palette of greys. It was definitely a very welcome palette when it was created because we didn't have that many greys on the market. So I'm gonna keep this. We have a Pat McGrath palette. Unfortunately, this one isn't available anymore, but it was just a really nice one to kind of add a bit of luxury to your collection without spending too much money. It was a present from one of my friends who is a big fan of the brand, and I mean, look at these. They're so pretty, they're so pretty. This one isn't gonna go anywhere because it's gorgeous and it's a present, so it also has sentimental value. Revolution Forever Flawless Ice. The mirror is really in a state in this one. Let me push it back in place. I'm not gonna get rid of this one because every now and then when I wanna do an eyeshadow look in these tones, I still reach for this palette. I do still enjoy this. Not the best quality out there. It's Makeup Revolution, like it's not the best of the best of the best, but I enjoy playing with it, so I'm gonna keep. I am, however, finally gonna get rid of the Forever Flawless Festival Birds of Paradise. I tried this one on video a couple of times and both times I had issues packing on the colors and blending them out. It does look really, really nice. I mean, it is a gorgeous color scheme, but I do not reach for it. I have not reached for it since my last declutter, so it is gonna go. Same with this Ultraviolet palette. This was such a disappointing palette. I did try it on in a video and I think I did a tutorial with it as well, and I just couldn't get it to work. It's called Ultraviolet, so I was expecting something really, really bright and really, really exciting. And when you look closely at the palette, that is just not what you're getting. The metallics, I mean, that is dusty. That's not even nice. No color payoff whatsoever. One of the most disappointing palettes I tried last year, so I'm gonna get rid. Then we have one of my favorite palettes, which is the Beauty Bay Pastels palette. I talk about this one all the time. I swear this one now says it's limited edition on the Beauty Bay website, so I'm really tempted to buy another one at some point when it next goes on sale, because I do think it is really, really great. It works so well with all of their other palettes. So yeah, still in love with this, absolutely not leaving my collection. I then have my two Mad Beauty palettes. So this is the most recent one I tried. This is the Child, the Mandalorian. Yeah, the name was really, really long-winded. I really, really enjoyed playing with this palette, and as I said in my video, I think it's different enough from my Colourpop palette that it warrants having both of them. Like, obviously they're both a similar color scheme, but I don't feel like they're identical, so I feel like it's fine to keep both, so I definitely am going to. And then the Mulan palette, which I think I now tried 2 years ago. I think I tried this before the first lockdown, so that is really going back. Have not used it recently, I will admit, I really haven't, but again, I think just having the palettes in the drawers at the moment, I'm just not finding my palettes. I'm forgetting that they're there. I do kind of want to keep it for the kind of collection side of things because it's the exact same format as the Child palette. So I'm going to keep it for now. I'm going to see how much I use it by my next declutter and then we'll see. But for now, I do want to keep it. And then my Beauty Bay Bright Matte palette. Just like the Pastels palette, it is just super, super affordable, especially for how much you're getting in here. But the quality doesn't suffer at all. It is really, really nice. Okay, so apparently we still have quite a few palettes to get through in this drawer. I didn't realize. Starting off with the Tribe by Juvia's Place. I really, really wanted this when it came out. I mean, look at this color scheme. It is so, so, so pretty. I have not reached for this since my last declutter and I don't think I will. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I can definitely see why some people like it. I just don't think it's for me and I think it can go to a better home. So this one's gonna go. The Mica Beauty On Point palette. This is another expensive one, but this has just got incredible shimmers. Yeah, look at these. I don't even think they look that great on camera. Oh, there we go, there we go. Absolutely gorgeous. Keeping this palette. All right, Lois Cosmetics Meet Me in the Underworld palette. It pains me to say that I think I'm gonna let this one go. I mentioned in my eyeshadow palette collection that for some reason, whenever I tried to film with this one, I just couldn't get it to work for me. I literally don't know what it is, but I just could not get a look out of this palette, and I haven't reached for it since. I just haven't. No hate to the brand whatsoever, because the brand owner is the most loveliest human being and her liquid eyeshadows are incredible. Just for some unknown reason, this particular eyeshadow palette just didn't work for me. I feel like maybe I just need to try one of her other ones and see how it goes. So yeah, this one is a little bit painful, but I just couldn't find the inspiration with it. Whatever it is, I think it's gonna go to someone else. The Beauty Bay Utopia palette, this one is also going to go. Not that it was a bad palette per se, I didn't necessarily think it was the best thing that I had from them, but I've just not reached for it since my review, and I feel like I have these shades in other palette. I do love a neon, but yeah, I think this is going to go because I'm just not using it. Oh, the Revolution Colour Book. Okay, this is a tough one. I have enjoyed playing with this one, but I just feel like I'm not gonna reach for it. I feel like I'm not. I'm trying to think what other palettes I have got greens in them that I am keeping. I'm trying to be brutal. I need to keep reminding myself of that. I think I'm gonna put it in my maybe for now. We'll come back to it at the end of the video, but I think it might be a no. We'll see. Revolution and Friends Chandler palette. This one's gonna go. I really didn't have a good time with it, and I think maybe I had an allergic reaction to the palette just because both times I tried to do a look, my eye just started tearing up. It was really, really weird, and it just didn't work for me. So we're gonna get rid. Beauty Bay Book of Magic. I think you already know the answer to this one. I am keeping. It's not gonna go anywhere. It is my favorite from them. I am extremely sad that they discontinued it. Everything about it is perfect for me, maybe except the neutrals at the top. You know, I could do without the neutrals. Absolutely gonna keep this. Absolute favorite from the brand. Okay, the Beauty Bay Age of Opulence palette, I am really, really torn about. I don't know what to do. There's a part of me that just wants to get rid, that feels like I'm not gonna reach for it, but I have played with this one again since doing my review, and I did a look that I wore to work around sort of Christmas week, and I got a lot of compliments about it, so I feel like I could have a lot of fun with it, but I don't know if I'm just gonna keep it for collecting purpose, just to have all of the Beauty Bay palettes together, or if I actually wanna keep it. I'm gonna put this in the maybe part. I'm gonna have a think about it because I just don't know. I just don't know. Revolution, Friends, and Joey. I did have a good time with this. I did enjoy playing with it, and I've played with it again since my video, but will I use it? Okay, that's gonna go in the maybe pile as well for now. The Makeup Obsession, Keep It Fresh, and the Sunshine Makes Me Happy. I think you guys know my gripe with these at this point. The pans are just so small. I do not think that they are worth £5, but I did think the pigmentation was really, really nice. Just quite annoying to use because of how small the pans are. I'm gonna let go both of them because I'm not reaching for them. They're nice, just not worth the price in my opinion. We have more trios from W7. This one is the Soft Hues trio. You know what, I think I'm just gonna keep all of my trios from W7. Again, I really don't wanna break them up. And I have played with these two again after reviewing them. I did enjoy it. This one would have to be my least favorite. I feel like I could get rid of it, but I just don't want to, just for collector's purpose, no other reason. So I'm gonna keep them all. We'll see how it goes by the next declutter, I think. We'll see how it goes. Beauty Bay New Romantic. This isn't my favorite from the brand, but as we are getting closer to Valentine's Day, I feel like I'm drawn to this one, and there is a look that I have in mind that I'd quite like to do with it. So definitely keeping this one. Colourpop Wine and Only. I don't know why I've kept the box for this one because I haven't kept the boxes for the others. I really, really wanted this palette, but right now I am just not sure. This is going to be a maybe as well. I'm going to decide at the end of the video. And then we have the W7 Vivid Trio. Again, we're not breaking up a trio, but if I had to let go of one of them, it would be this one. To be fair, let's have a look at these two and compare it to the Joey palette. We have the green, we have the orange, the yellow, the pink, the shimmers. They're not identical, but they are very close. I'm gonna get rid of the Joey palette. Even though I do like it, I feel like I don't need to have that when I've got these ones. So keeping the W7s. We're actually at the end of this drawer, which really surprises me. I didn't think we'd get there that quickly. So first up, my e.l.f. Mint Melt palettes. I'm gonna keep both of these just because they are super, super affordable. I haven't used them in a while, but I would like to use them again. I did have a great time with them, and I may or may not have ordered the new e.l.f. collection. It may be on its way to me. I'm very, very very excited to play with it. So I'm going to keep both of these. The Urban Decay Beached Eyeshadow Palette. It pains me to say that I think I'm going to let this one go. I wanted this one for ages. Same as the Moondust palette. I lusted after it for ages, but it's just not giving me what I want. We only really have one true matte here. And then I just don't like how red tone these are. I think I would prefer it if it was a bit more golden. So I feel like whenever I try and do a look, it just never really works out. So I'm really sad to say this, but I'm gonna be letting this one go. The Beauty Bay Me, Myself and Mitchell palette. This is a palette that I just used so much over on my Instagram. And if it wasn't for the fact that it was discontinued, I probably still would use it and do loads of videos. The quality is just absolutely incredible. And every time I look at this, I just think to myself that I really should try his brand. I still haven't gotten around to doing that. But yeah, no, absolutely not getting rid of this. The W7 Mardi Gras palette. This was a very controversial palette because it is a dupe for the, oh God, who does it? Be Perfect and Stacey Marie Carnival 3. This one just literally caused such a huge stir online, but I did really like it. I thought the quality of this one was absolutely incredible. I believe it was about £15, and for how many shades you're getting for that price, I really was worried the quality would suffer, but I was wrong. It was such a pleasure to work with. The metallics were the only thing that I didn't really like about it, but a lot of the time that doesn't tend to be my favorite part of W7 palettes, and this one only has 8 shimmers, I think, in here, so it's really minimal. It doesn't affect it. It's just, again, a really nice way of injecting some colour into your collection without breaking the bank, so absolutely keeping this one. Is it time to let go of my Morphe 35B? I'm really sad to say that I think it might be. I have pulled this one out again just to try and get me to use it, and the quality was fine. Like, it wasn't bad, but it also wasn't amazing. There's just so much better in my collection now, so I think I'm gonna have to say goodbye to this one. I can't believe this is happening. We had some great times together. I'm really sorry, Morphe, but I just don't think I'm going to reach for this one anytime soon. And as much as I was saying that I was going to keep it for the nostalgia, I don't think I want to anymore. So this is going to go. The Morphe 39S. Why am I so bad at opening palettes? I really wish the names were printed on here instead of having to keep this horrible plastic sheet. I do really like this palette. I do get it out every now and again and do a few looks with it. Also, it was a present from my fiance, so it's just never gonna leave my collection. It just makes me a little bit nostalgic for a time when we actually wanted palette for ages and lusted after them for weeks and months before buying them. So yeah, there we go. I'm gonna keep this one. All right, well, let's come back to the maybe pile. Colourpop Wine and Only. This is so hard. I'm just trying to think of what other burgundies I have in my collection. Like, is it worth keeping it, or is it too similar to other things? It's really not that similar to New Romantic, to be fair. I thought there would be more overlap, but this is definitely a lot more pink and a lot brighter. So not the same as that. What about... See, again, I thought there would be some overlap with the Naughty palette, but I'm not seeing any. Oh, all right, I'm gonna keep this one. I'm gonna give it 6 months at most, and if I haven't used it within 6 months, or I've decided that I don't like it, it is gonna go. Same with the Age of Opulence. I really can't make my mind up because I just feel like there's a part of me that's just saying, just let this go. I feel like I do want to play with it some more. I mean, look at this turquoise, look at these. Okay. Same as the Wine and Only. I'm gonna give it 6 months, and then if I don't use it, it's just gonna go. Colourbook is gonna go. You know what? I'm just gonna say it. It is just gonna go, and same with the Show Off palette. There we go. I've made my decision. All right. So, what is the damage? How many palettes have we gotten rid of? 18 palettes. Was it really brutal? I don't know. Oh wait, no, not 18. 19 because of the Morphe 35B. So yeah, all of these are going to leave my collection, and hopefully they're just going to go to people who are going to have a lot more fun with them than I am. Alright, so here is the unit where my palettes are now going to live. I don't think you can quite see the whole thing, but this is the top of it. Sorry, that is just really bad angling from me. So I'm thinking palettes on the second shelf maybe? I don't know, let's try it out, let's see how it goes, and we'll just speed through it and give you guys a little bit of ASMR.